Hello, welcome to Tarot Concertina. This reading is for Taurus, the Taurus collective, and the card associated with Taurus is usually the Hierophant, but in this deck, the Linweave Tarot from the 1960s, it's Jupiter. So very vivid and fun. The artist for this was Roth. Anyway, we'll be looking into love and relationships, and then we'll move into career. So if you're only interested in one of those readings, there will be timestamps in the description box where you can jump to one or the other. First, I'll be sharing a few channeled messages I received while meditating before the video. They may or may not apply to you. It doesn't matter. You could still watch the video if none of these messages resonate with you. As a general reminder, only take the messages that resonate for you and never force a message to fit your situation. If it doesn't make sense to you, you can just leave it on the table. And if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate the energetic exchange. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, the link to my website, tarotconcertina.com, will be listed in the description box below. Okay, Taurus, the first thing I felt and experienced while meditating was a woman standing behind me wearing a crown. And I know that might sound weird. So somebody of significance, importance, authority, it might be you. And she showed me, she unrolled a blueprint of what I felt was a map of the stars. So she was kind of pointing at constellations and things. Not clear on what the specific message was for that. However, I got the impression you're supposed to be looking up at the night sky more often. It might be inspiring for you or bring you a sense of comfort. And then I saw, I think it was somebody's memory of looking out the window at night and just gazing out into the night sky, looking at the stars. And it was a happy, peaceful memory. Everything I felt during this meditation felt really romantically and darkly beautiful, like I was kind of in a dark fantasy world. There's this kind of funny balance between liking this rich, dark world with a lot of beauty and almost like a Victorian landscape, but then it was juxtaposed with like a very silly feeling. Like I was also seeing like little animals, like fuzzy creatures, something like that around. And I got the feeling I was jumping, leaping, bouncing around. So you might go back and forth between like appreciating moody, dark things and light, bubbly things. At the end of my meditation, I asked, is there any message the Taurus collective needs to hear? And I simply heard, it's coming. So it's coming. I don't know, that sounds kind of ominous, but something you've been waiting for is on the way. So hopefully that's a good thing you've been waiting for. All right, let's get into the tarot portion of the video. Okay, let's get into the love or relationship portion of the tarot reading. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but it could be. Use your discretion. If it resonates for you, you will know. And I just felt a small crowd of people around me as if they're watching intently and they're saying, we're ready. Maybe that's you. This is intended to be for the month ahead or the rest of the month of July and maybe a little bit more extended than that. These readings have been a little more expansive, it feels like, than just the month of July. So we'll see what comes out. The Hermit, Tempest. So this is an additional card from the Carnival at the End of the World Tarot. That's not part of the standard deck. We have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse, Knight of Pentacles, Death, and the Knight of Swords. Okay, and the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Wands. So that we could be dealing with a relationship here that's already established. I'm feeling a little jittery and shaky right now. Sorry, I think it's either too much caffeine or I'm getting a lot of energy from this group. There's something about this relationship that causes a great deal of introspection with the Hermit here, which is also Virgo energy. We also have Death, which is Scorpio energy. I haven't been saying this for the other groups, but I just felt compelled to call that out. So the impression is there's been sweeping internal change with the Tempest in reverse that has caused a transformation of sorts. Now, Queen of Pentacles in reverse can indicate the need to ask yourself if you're taking care of either your physical form, your body, or are you taking care of your home environment in a way that meets your needs. I'm also drawn to this, I think it's a little goat. So you might have a little one yourself, or a pet, a fur baby. So there's a desire for change here upon deep reflection, because there's something that doesn't feel right, maybe in your body even. There's just a general sense of discomfort in the environment for some of you. I'm trying to decipher what Death is doing here between these two knights. We have the Knight of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. One is extremely methodical and plans everything out and can be a little slow, and the Knight of Swords is very quick moving. He's the fastest of the knights. So the Knight of Swords is a much more aggressive, cutting energy than the Knight of Pentacles here. And Death in between could mean, are we transforming from this pentacle energy, the grounded energy, into this fast-moving, airy energy of the Knight of Swords? You might be saying, I'm done waiting, I'm done planning, I want to get a move on. So it looks like you've done some reflection, there's been some inner change, and you feel a little uncomfortable in your environment or in your body in some way, and now we're kind of tired of waiting and planning, and we're ready to execute a goal of some kind, maybe in the relationship, and it's requiring a transformation here on both parties' parts. Okay, let's see if we can get more information with some more tarot cards. Ace of Pentacles, King of Wands, we have King of Swords, so two strong energies here, both with their eye on the prize, or they're thinking about something in the material world, a new opportunity. For a few of you, I feel like there might be two suitors here, and they're both very intensely trying to win you over. These could also just represent two different aspects of the same person, passion and intellect. Sometimes warm, sometimes cold, playing that game of hot and cold. And then we have the Queen of Wands. So a lot of court cards all in a row. Usually when this many court cards come out together, and we already have two more, the two knights here we talked about. Of course, you would know best, but it looks like there's more than just two people here on the board today. So it makes me wonder if friends, family, other people have a lot of influence on your personal life or your relationship. And there's a lot of ideas here. Everybody has their say, everybody has their little pearls of wisdom. So could get a little confusing if you're listening to several different opinions. Queen of Wands is the only figure here not looking at this ace. It looks like you might be focused on yourself more than this energy. But these two more masculine figures, doesn't have to be male, but these are the kings. So reverse energies as it applies to you, but these two seem very focused on the pentacle. Could also mean money, financial stability, a new opportunity in work. They might be focused on work. Or again, since you're an earth sign, Ace of Pentacles could represent you. They might be focused on you. And you're just kind of blooming like a beautiful flower in the desert. Usually Queen of Wands is depicted in the desert. And you're just very attractive, very beautiful, and passionate at this time. You might be pursuing your own goals independently and not really that concerned about relationships. But it's almost like people are waiting on you to make a call. I'm not sure why I'm getting that information. I'm going to pull more tarot cards. To clarify the Ace of Pentacles, Eight of Swords came out. So something that causes us anxiety, perhaps. We feel like we can't move. We're kind of waiting for somebody else to make a decision for us. Okay, I think this might mean you don't see this Ace of Pentacles, but they do, and you don't. You're looking forward, they're looking at it. You're blindfolded. So something might be in the works, something being offered to you that you are oblivious to. For the King of Rods or Wands, we have the Queen of Wands again with Temperance. So you might have this beautiful healing effect on the other person. I'm calling you the Queen of Wands, but reverse it as it applies to your situation. So this looks healthy. I'm getting the impression the King of Wands finds you very nourishing, helps you stay balanced, and they're very magnetized toward you. You make them feel warm, and you help them heal in some way. Okay, let's clarify the King of Swords. The King of Swords, we have the Two of Pentacles. So something about balancing here. Okay, I realize I'm pulling a lot more cards than I did for the other groups. Sorry. Anyway, the Three of Pentacles, Seven of Wands, and Strength in reverse flipped over, clarifying this King of Swords energy with the Two of Pentacles. So looks like there's some kind of collaborative effort here that was pushed aside. Kind of boundaries were put in place around it that may have come down. I wonder if this King of Swords is debating what to do because there might have been a complicated past. It might represent a friend. It might be separate from this. King of Wands energy seems to be more of a romantic, warm energy and matches your frequency with the Queen of Wands. And I think this is someone else, the King of Swords. They don't know what to do. They want to work with you, but there's so much resistance here. Someone else might see you as a potential partner, but they just exist as a friend and they know there's a boundary there and they can't really stand up and put up that fight anymore. I think this is only a message for a few people, but I think there might be a competitor, another suitor, maybe. I'm not so sure about that. So let's get some clarifying oracle cards. Yeah, I just felt a little nervous. So maybe somebody might be thinking about approaching you, telling you something, but they're not sure how to go about it. It's almost like the blueprint I saw. They're trying to navigate through their thoughts and feelings to express something to you, and they're having a really difficult time doing so. Have restlessness in reverse. It's this sense of feeling stuck and not moving as fast as you want to go. And that's Mercury in Aries. It's not. Idealism. Sun in Aquarius. Okay. Harmony and bluff. I think it came out this way actually. So something out of harmony here, disharmonious situation, and then bluff, which can mean deception, but let me make sure. So these cards, oracle cards, kind of suggest there's a need to keep your wits about you. There's a lot of communication that might be going on in the near future, and you'll have to be kind of witty and charming is the impression I'm getting. Because you might be meeting new people that could end up being influential, or you're trying to win somebody over. And there's this bluff card here, which if you look at the two hands, one is upright or palm up, and the other's with the back facing. It's like a sleight of hand trick here. So there might be a situation where you kind of, not in a manipulative way, but have to be witty and kind of influence people in some way. I'm also feeling like you or the other person might see, I think that's Pan here, playing a flute or fife and kind of luring the mule in this figure in his direction. So you might have to use your powers of persuasion in some way. And just be careful with your words is the general impression, because you're going to feel restless, and it could negatively impact you if you're not navigating using your powers of intuition and discernment. So it looks like something's on the way, and not to scare you, but it might test your wits or your intelligence or just your charm in some way. But it looks like you have the tools at your disposal. Like, I don't think this is going to be much of a struggle for you at all, to be honest, because Queen of Wands came out twice. That's a very self-empowered, charming, and magnetic personality. So I don't think you have much to worry about. And you do have indicators here that you've walked the path of wisdom, and you're ready for some kind of change in your life because you feel kind of restless. There's a couple of cards that showed you feel a little stir crazy is the feeling I'm getting. And then I'm reminded of gazing out that window into the night sky at the stars, and maybe you're just dreaming of an ideal situation for yourself and trying to navigate and figuring out how to get to that point. So I feel confident in your ability to successfully navigate whatever the situation is. It looks interesting, like there's many people involved. The stakes might be high, but don't forget you're the Queen of Wands twice here, so maybe just make sure you take care of your body, what nourishes you, lean into that a bit more, and you should be totally good to go. Thank you, Taurus. Let me know if any of this resonated. Please leave a comment if it does. This looks like an exciting time in your relationship life, so I wish you the best in the rest of July. Now we'll take a look at career for Taurus in the rest of July. And since I think it's already July 10th, this might extend a little beyond July. Okay, we have the Moon in reverse, Judgment in reverse, the Fool, Nine of Swords in reverse, Ace of Swords, is that in reverse again, and Queen of Wands. So she makes her third appearance in the Taurus collective reading. And on the bottom of the deck, King of Swords. So we have a few repeating cards from the love portion of the reading, which is interesting. So the same characters could be appearing in both dimensions, both worlds of relationship and career for you. If you haven't watched the relationship portion, this might not make sense, but you can go back and watch if you want. However, with the King of Swords appearing here, it makes me think that person who was debating whether to communicate something with you and felt blocked, if that person is the one who might have unexpressed feelings or thoughts toward you, take it as it resonates. I think that's only for a couple people. With the Moon in reverse, I'm wondering if we're dealing with something that has been hidden for a while that might be coming to light. Next to Judgment in reverse, I'm wondering if things are coming back around. It could mean that something that was hidden from you is now being revealed. It almost seems like there's something beckoning you, something calling to you that you're resisting, and you're kind of playing the fool, maybe pretending not to hear it, or turning a blind eye to this situation that's coming to light. Nine of Swords in reverse could mean something that happens in a subconscious level here with the moon. You can let go of your fear around. There was something here causing a great deal of anxiety that now it looks like you're ready to let go of. Something that kept you up at night would come to haunt you in your dreams. You're moving past that, which is excellent news. It shows a lot of progress. You're kind of saying, I'm not going to worry about this anymore. It's too draining. I can't quite figure it out. I can't quite see my way through the darkness. So I'm not going to let it bother me anymore. And then there's a realization here that it could mean poor judgment with the Fool, but now you see things clearly. Maybe you've recently had an idea that you're excited to take off with and move forward with the Queen of Wands energy. She's somebody who can kind of be a projector. If you follow that human design, self-assessment, personality test, some people are projectors, and Queen of Wands would fit that persona really nicely. So you might get an idea that comes to you that you can broadcast. I kind of forgot this was in reverse, so maybe it's not, but with Judgment, with the Ace of Wands, there's something that's trying to get your attention and you can't quite hear it. So open your ears, open your eyes, look around a bit more. I'm seeing like a flashlight in the darkness, and you are pointed one direction, and you just need to turn a little bit to see this message coming in. And then you can take off with it. But for now it's kind of hidden, or it's only come to you in a dream. So keep a dream journal. I always suggest that, but I've never done it myself. So do as I say, not as I do. But there's something here on a subconscious level that's not quite reaching you. But if it does, it looks like you're ready to leap forward with this really cool new concept. And you're the one to kind of push it out into the world. Okay, let's do clarifying tarot cards. I'd like to know how you're supposed to see or get this message. Maybe it comes from this King of Swords person who's thinking about whether or not to present something to you. Okay, only take it if it resonates. 10 of Swords and the Lovers in reverse. So clearly a relationship that had ended, it's already done. So there might be a circling back of some kind of intimate relationship you've had in the past. Oh yeah, it's been a while. Wheel of Fortune also fell out with the Three of Wands. These two cards both mean an extended time period, so a lot of time may have passed since you've interacted with this person. Wow. Okay, I think that's a side message for some people. So, I don't know, I'm gonna put it over here. Okay, Hanged Man in reverse. Pisces energy. I wonder if this has to do with the realization you have to meditate, or I'm thinking you have to be in a different brainwave to receive this message. Maybe it's delivered to you while you're kind of spaced out or meditating or sleeping. or somebody's just been sitting on approaching you for a long time, and now they're unbinding themselves and ready to share their insights. Okay, I want more information on Judgment and Ace of Swords, both in reverse. Seven of Cups, so something about the fantasy world. Some confusion here, maybe. Page of Pentacles. And Five of Swords in reverse. Okay, excuse my squeaky chair. It looks like somebody has chosen a cup. After a lot of deliberation, maybe confusions and delusions, they've chosen one of these options and they're debating what to do with it. In the past, they kind of got stuck in their own head. It's kind of obsessive indecision that led to procrastination. This could be you as well. You might be presented with a lot of creative options and you can't quite decide which way to go. And then you're really contemplating what path to take. And Five of Swords in reverse could mean we've stopped lying to ourselves. It might just be like, okay, I'm ready to choose. Telling myself I can't move forward in one direction is self-deception. So I would say it's a fallacy to say there's too many options, I can't choose any. Like, I think the message is just pick one. Don't overly judge it, just go with your instinct. Then we have Eight of Wands, so some kind of forward momentum. I think there might be communication coming in from this energy that inspires you to take a leap of faith. Queen of Wands is also a very, can be a very spiritual, kind of a witchy person. So if you or somebody you know has those qualities, that might aid you in propelling this forward. We have Ten of Cups. So it's a very happy, harmonious outcome here. You're going to be very pleased to receive this information or to take this on, move this on its way. It makes you very happy to do so. And it looks like you build a strong bond in doing so. So I'm noticing a crossover in both readings, career and love, that they're picking up on each other. So for your environment, your life, it might be very closely tied together, your work life and your love life. Or it's just your relationships are deeply tied into what you do for a living. Okay, and then we'll just finish up with a few oracle cards. Am I supposed to look at this? Four of Cups in reverse. So, opportunity that you may have passed on in the past, you might be reconsidering here. You might be able to see this offer. Again, there's something you're not seeing or you haven't considered in a long time that could be presenting itself, bringing itself back to life. Quarrel. I think this is somebody you've quarreled with in the past. That's hard to say. Someone you've disagreed with in the past that you might be familiar with. is Mars in Cancer. We have seduction. So I'm reminded of the Lover's card here. It might have been a romantic situation that ended because there was too much conflict, disagreement. Escape and secrets in reverse. So again, that's very moon in reverse energy. So it's kind of a repeating message. It's like you've had this air of mystery about things that is now ready to reveal itself. So the "it's coming" I heard in the meditation could be whatever this is bringing to light. But it's almost like you feel it coming. Escape is, I think it's showing resistance. It looks like in the past you've really wanted to push whatever this is away, not look at it, pretend you don't hear it. Like, I'm not listening. But now you might be able or willing to listen. This Secrets card has a Sphinx on it, and it's kind of about solving riddles or trying to get information out of somebody. So I feel like somebody here knows the answer to your question. You just have to look in the right place again. So escape could refer to like the flight trauma response, like when you feel threatened, your nervous system wants to escape the situation. Not sure what that has to do with the reading, but I think you've wanted to escape from this energy over here that you kind of associate with some variety of negativity and pain. So just have your own boundaries in place. You know you have a tendency to have conflicting opinions about possession, maybe here. They're both trying to take this ring from the other. And seduction could mean someone here knows how to use powers of seduction, not necessarily in a romantic way or a physical way, but knowing how to push somebody in the direction that they desire. Like seduce you into a way of thinking, or seduce them into convincing them to give you whatever this is. Coming up in your career, you're kind of waiting on information to be revealed to you before you take off in this direction. Maybe you escape in this direction, but it does bring you a lot of joy and a feeling of harmony in the end. This is very mysterious. I'm not sure where it's going to come from. Maybe you know better than I do, but it looks like it might come from this King of Swords character who dips in and out of your life. Anyway, let me know in the comments if this resonated with you. I hope this brought you, if nothing else, entertainment, and I will see you at the next reading. Thank you so much for being here, Taurus. Have a great rest of your July.